Hello everyone, this is Tanmay Sharma. My register number is UR15CS188. This is my experiment number 3 for the Java lab, and the title of this experiment is Using Classes and Objects. And the question number assigned to me is question number 10, where I have to create where I have to create different types of savings, like recurring deposit and fixed deposit. And for that, the customer should already have a savings account in the bank. And then I have created, so for recurring deposit, the minimum monthly deposit should be 1000 rupees, and further it should be in multiples of 100, and the minimum duration can be of 3 months to maximum of 15 years. If duration is of 1 year, then the interest would be 7%, and if it's other than that, the interest would be 6.5%. and for FD, the minimum deposit should be of rupees 10,000 and maximum can be of rupees 1 lakh, and minimum FD duration is 3 years and maximum is 20 years, and the interest rate for FD is 5%. So here I have implemented this question using classes and objects. So here I have created 3 classes. One is the main, one is the FD, one is the RD. FD is for fixed deposit, where I have created 2 attributes, 2 private attributes, deposit and years. Deposit is for getting the amount, and year is for storing the like for how many years the user needs that amount to be stored. And for the same attributes, I have created setters and getters. And same in RD also, I have created 2 attributes, that is a deposit and years, and for the both attributes I have created setters and getters. So now this is our main function, where I am importing the utilities, but the utility which I have used in my program is just the scanner. So here I am creating the object of scanner class, and then I am just creating a variable ch. So the speciality of my code is just to try something new. I have created the menu driven using loops instead of using switch case. So as you can see here, first it asks the user to enter the choice, that is recurring deposit or fixed deposit. So that choice I am getting inside the ch variable, and if the choice is 1, then it would go inside recurring deposits loop, or else, and if the choice is 2, while ch equals to 2, then it would go inside FD fixed deposits loop. So yeah, so here as you can see here, as it enters in the RD, that is in choice 1, when user selects recurring deposit, the object of that class RD is being created, and then it displays that you have chosen. This is just the documentation section where it displays that the user has chosen recurring deposit. Here I have taken this flag equals to 0. I will tell you why I have taken this. And here this is the recurring deposit. This is for recurring deposit. This is for duration. So here I have taken flag for 0. So as in the question it was mentioned that the amount, that is the amount which is being entered by the user, should be in multiples, should be greater than 1000 and should be there in multiples of 100. So if this is not there, then the value of, if this first I am getting the input of the deposit, and if the deposit is greater than 1000 and it is in multiples of 100, that is the deposit modulo 100 is equals to 0, then I am passing the value of deposit to the setter function, to the setter method in the RD class, and then I am incrementing the value of flag, that is this, it would keep on taking the value unless and until this condition is not true, like the amount is not greater than 1000, and if it is not in multiples of 100, then it would display that please enter the amount greater than 1000 and in multiples of 100. So again the same I have done for the duration also, as this was the requirement of our question, that the duration allowed for RD should be between, like it should lie between 3 months to 15 years. 3 months to 15 years, yeah, that is 180 months. So any input other than this will not be accepted, and again it would ask the user to enter. This is nothing but it is just doing the functionality of goto. So this is the calculation of maturity amount, where like if the duration is less than 1 year, so the interest would be 7.7%. so that, and then I am using the appropriate formula, and then I am calculating the interest, and then I am displaying the month-wise amount, like for every month how much interest is being added up, and what our total amount is becoming, and or else the interest will be 6.5%. This was the requirement of our question. So accordingly I have coded the else part, like this is for adding amount and the adding the interest part to the amount, this line. Similarly here also we added, and then to gather the sum, like to add up the sum, here we are doing these things, like to add up the interests. So as you can see here, at the end it would display the maturity amount, and then it would display the maturity date. This it would display by accessing the getter method from the recurring deposit. Now if user chooses to, that is a fixed deposit, then object of fixed deposit is being created. This is just the reference variable of type FD, and then this is the object created. Again it displays that you have chosen the fixed deposit. Again this flag is for keeping this functionality, that the amount should be greater than 10,000 and it should be less than 1 lakh. And again here I have taken the input for duration, and using that flag variable I have created that functionality, that the duration allowed is between 3 years to 20 years. And this is again for calculating the amount and the maturity rate. Again it asks the user whether he wants to continue or not. If user presses 2, it continues, or else it exits. And then it asks the user whether he wants to continue like with this option RD, FD and exit. So if we press 3, then it would exit from the code. So now let's check out the output of the code. Okay, so as you can see here, it's asking the recurring deposit. So it's asking the choice. For example, I have entered 1, that is the recurring deposit. Then it asks the user to enter the monthly deposit. For example, the monthly deposit I have entered is less than 1000 for recurring deposit, and it should be in multiples of 100. So we'll enter something which is less than 1000 and not in multiples of 100. So you can see 111. So as you can see, it has not accepted. So that test case for the program is correct, that it's working. So now as you can see, I have entered 10,000, which is a multiple of 100 as well as it is greater than 1000. So it has accepted, and same goes for duration also. If I have entered 2, that is less than 3, it doesn't lie within the range of 3 to 180, then it won't accept it. So I have entered 5. So as you can see, it shows me the monthly amount, like in every month. For as you can see here, the duration is less than like 1 year, so the interest would be 7%. So it is giving, like for every month it is adding up the interest, and it is showing for like after every month how much will be your deposit, and then at last it is calculating the maturity amount and maturity date. And the difference between FD and RD is, like in RD every month you should deposit that particular amount, but in FD you should just deposit it once, and after the maturity like after the amount becomes mature, the bank like it gives you that amount. Now it's asking that whether we want to continue or not. I'll press 0. So now it's asking for RD, FD. Now we'll check the FD. So in fixed deposit, yeah, so first it's asking to enter the yearly deposit. So it should be greater than 10,000 and it should be less than 1 lakh. So if we enter 1000, so as you can see that it's not accepted. So let's take it as 12,000, and the interest rate for this was 5%. So we'll enter the duration as, for let's say if we entered 1 year, then it didn't accept it, because the duration should be between 3 years to 20 years. So let's enter 6 years. So as you can see, for every year it displays like for like after 1 year how much interest, 5% of the 12,000 will be added up to it, and like this is our maturity amount, that the total amount after 5 years how much it would become, and this is the maturity rate, that is 6 years. Again it asks the user whether he wants to continue or exit. 0 and then 3 for exit. So that's all for this video, friends. Thank you for watching my video.